remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me.
Hey, what's up guys, Steven here, welcome back to another video, and today here from Las Vegas, because Balazs and me are here for the CES 2020, where we'll see a lot of great new smartphones. Now, talking about new smartphones, Samsung has announced a few new phones, and Balazs already had a hands-on session with the new smartphones, the Galaxy S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite. And well, today I want to talk a little bit about it. It's a little bit different than my other videos, but we're short on time, but we'll get you the most information about all the devices. So first of all, Balazs, what's new about the S10 Lite and the Note 10 Lite?
There is a brand new design. They are not really equipped with the same design as the S10 and the Note 10 last year. The colors are amazing, and as you have seen in the B-roll, there's like 50 on the table, so it was really amazing to just try everything about them out.
Yeah, that looked really sick, and guys, look at the new design. I think it looks pretty cool, to be honest. What do you think about the design?
It's very pixelish, iPhone-ish with the square camera around it, but I think that's the design language that Samsung just doing this year because they are in the top smartphone league, and everybody is doing square designs now except for the Chinese.
Yeah, and also the backside from the new A series, so everybody wants to get their phones as shiny as possible, as fancy as possible. For instance, Huawei has basically kicked off the trend with all these shiny smartphones, and now I think everybody is trying to get the same. And yeah, what about the specs? So what has changed? Do you get better value for your money, or?
Battery, probably. Samsung is doing a big campaign, especially with the A series, which is probably also for the S and Note series true, that you have good battery, good camera and good design. And also the headphone jack is back.
Okay, talking about the headphone jack, guys, write down below in the comments if you need a headphone jack, because actually I was always, okay, I want to have it, but since I got Bluetooth headphones, Bluetooth in my car, Bluetooth soundbar, I haven't used my headphone jack since 1 year. And what about you?
Me neither, but for exactly this kind of video, you plug in your microphone, you need it.
Actually, I plug it into the lightning port, but it's fine. But I do get it. There are some people who have like high-res audio files. They want to connect it to their old amplifier or something, and then they need it. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have if you can have it. What about the camera, as this is one of the most important features for most of the people?
Well, let me just grab it because this will be the long part. So interestingly, the S10 and the Note 10 have 3 cameras in the back, not 4, because the new A series has actually 4 cameras in the back. There's also new A51 and 71 that came out. We won't talk about that very long, but they have 4 cameras. The S10 has 3 cameras with 1 ultra-wide, 1 regular wide angle and 1 macro camera. And the Note 10 Lite has 1 ultra-wide, 1 regular wide and 1 tele, so zoom actually lens, which is kind of strange. And the special thing about the S10 Lite is something that we will see a lot, I think, this year in Samsung phones, is a new kind of optical image stabilization, which is called Super Steady. And I think the name is a little bit close to what Sony is selling with the action cameras and what GoPro is selling also in action cameras, that you not only have one axis stabilization for, of course, stabilizing the phone, because you're not moving your hand in just one angle, but if you're running right after your kid and want to have a nice shot that's steady and sharp and everything, you will move your hand, of course, in every direction. So there's also 1 or 2 degrees where they can steadily also adjust it to the front and back, but that's only on the S10 Lite and only on the regular wide angle, not on the ultra wide and not on the macro lens. Otherwise, they are exactly the same in the apertures and everything. Yeah, what I've seen and tried out so far. But my first opinion was trying out the first device in December, which was a prototype. The quality was really bad. So it was maybe sharper, but was very grainy, and yeah, just you saw a lot of softness in the picture that you haven't seen on a regular picture when you had the steady shot off.
Alright, 2 questions which are probably kind of important. How important do you think is stabilization on a smartphone when it comes to videos?
It's really important, and I'm happy that finally all phones, even the A series, shoot 4K on the front and the back. Nobody's actually shooting front 4K. Apple even also is not doing that.
Yeah.
For some reason. Oh, actually both have a 32 megapixel front punch hole cameras.
Yeah, for me too, because every time I shoot something with my smartphone, I try to shoot in higher frame rate and then even stabilize afterwards. So stabilization is really important, especially if you want to make your videos look good without any gimbal or something. And another thing is, why is there a macro lens?
Nobody knows. I've never used it. The zoom is maybe a little bit more handy, but I never use either of them. I want the widest lens I can use for anything.
Yeah, there are strange options. So the Google Pixel without wide-angle lens, I mean, that was one of the weirdest phones which came out this year. Wide-angle is really something I use every day for filming, for taking pictures. It gives you so much more flexibility, and especially changing a wide-angle lens to a macro lens. I mean, there are definitely people out there who use macro lenses, so let me know down below what you do with a macro lens. But personally, I don't take pictures of close objects actually. What about you?
If they have a cheaper phone in the A series where they have all 4 lenses, okay, not the super steady lens from the S10 Lite, why can't they just put it also on the high end or medium range devices? I don't get it.
Alright, some more questions about it. Other specs like memory, RAM, chipset?
Yeah, so there's some differences. So both have 128 gigs of internal memory that you can expand, but then you lose your second SIM card slot. So it's a hybrid slot, 2 SIMs or 1 SIM and 1 micro SD, which you can expand up to 1 terabyte right now, but 2 terabytes are also possible with Android. If there is some time, maybe even this year, coming out a 2 terabyte micro SD card, which would be crazy. But then also battery life wise, there's a little difference because the Note of course needs a place for the S Pen, and that's why the battery is a little bit smaller, 4300 milliamps and 4500 for the S10 Lite, and I think that's plenty enough. I used the Note 10 Plus with just barely a little bit more battery, same display size and resolution, and that was easily enough to get me through the day.
Okay, that sounds pretty good, but why should I buy a Lite version? I mean, I get it, it's a cheaper version. How much cheaper?
Well, right now in the market it's not cheaper depending on which model you buy. So for the S10 the market price is at 600-700 euros or US dollars, probably the same, and they're coming out with the S10 Lite for 650 euros, probably that's 699 or 599 US dollars, because the dollar price is always a little bit cheaper. But the Note 10 Lite is $50 cheaper in, I think, all over the world, but also because not only the battery is smaller, the processor is a different one. It's an older one. It's a 10 nanometer chip that they're using. I'm not sure which one. They didn't tell us which one. It's probably an Exynos though. But for the S10 Lite, which is exciting for Europe especially, is that it's a Snapdragon processor, not an Exynos like they always use in Europe for the S series. And it's the 855 Snapdragon, which is one of the fastest processors out right now, 7 nanometer design. So that's why it's a little bit more expensive, and also I guess the new camera.
Okay, but that doesn't really convince me like to buy a Lite series for that price.
It's too much for the price, but with every Android product, especially also Samsung products, once they announce it and it's in the store, when you buy it without a contract, it's $100 cheaper right away. Or 150, and then it stays there for a year, which is quite nice, because if you buy it just 1 month later, you will have a steady price. But I think that's also with Apple and every other device the same way. If you're not buying it right from Apple or right from Samsung, just other stores, it's right away a little bit cheaper.
Okay, have we already talked about the new A series? No. Okay, what is the new A series?
Well, interestingly, it's the same size. I didn't actually mention how tall the S10 and the Note 10 are, or big the displays are. 6.7 inches, and exactly the same size are the new A51 and A71, except for the A51 is, I think, 6.6 or 6.5. So a little bit smaller, but if you have both in your hands, you need to really closely hold them together to see actually the difference. The only difference I was seeing always in the back, because the specs are really exactly the same. Same camera, same battery, everything the same. On the back, one has only one line going across the back, and that's the A51, and the A71 has one line and then in a T shape another one coming right next to it. That's the only way that you can recognize from the back which one is which one.
Alright, so that's regarding the specs and how they look like. We'll try to get our hands now at the smartphones at the CS because Samsung is also here, and then bring you an closer review of the smartphones. But just from your point of view, which smartphone would you buy if it shouldn't be S10 Lite or Note 10 Lite for the same price?
You mean no Samsung phone at all? Because the A51 is actually
Yeah.
quite nice.
An alternative to it.
Yeah, of course. OnePlus has a really good price, not only in the 7T series, but the 7 Pro was a really good phone. So that's my favorite right now for around $500 to $600. It's amazing. But also I can advise you guys, check out the Asus Zenfone 6. Huge battery, great camera, everything is awesome on that. And there's also really good Android, basic Android on there, which has not that ugly One UI that Samsung does.
Okay, I think that's it, and I totally agree with the OnePlus 7 Pro. I still have it at home, I still use it, and it's actually pretty amazing for what you get for the money. But I'm also looking forward to test out the brand new Lite series smartphones from Samsung. And yeah guys, I really hope that you liked this video, and if you want to check out more videos from Balazs, then check out Tech Video. Links are down below in the description. And yeah, we're now going to the CS in the next days and bring you some awesome content, so make sure to subscribe that you don't miss anything, and if you like this video, please like it, and yeah, if you want to see more, subscribe. As always guys, I'm Steven from Tech Magnet, this is Balazs from Tech Video, and we'll catch you later in the next one. Have a nice day and bye.
Viva Las Vegas!
Vegas!